Hi, Anil. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. In your dual role as the CFO and CIO of McCalla, you have played a pivotal role in the digital transformation initiative for your organization. So, Anil, can we start by maybe you sharing the business situation at McCalla when you started this digital transformation journey and your decision to deploy D365 Business Central? What gave you the confidence that BC was indeed the right solution for you?
Sure. So, as you know, we were running Microsoft Dynamics AX. We had been running that for a long time here, probably 14 years. And we had gone through a couple of machinations, and we had a lot of customizations in our AX platform. And so the natural upgrade path was to go to Dynamics 365 FP&O. And we decided not to do that and instead go with Dynamics 365 Business Central. We thought that for what we needed to get done, it would be a quick implementation, lower risk, and it would be more efficient. So I think I think we made the right decision there.
The timelines were aggressive, and yet the project met all the requirements, the timelines as well as the cost. So what, in your opinions, were the primary factors that ensured this success? Were there any difficult decisions you had to make in the course of this project execution?
Yeah, obviously, I can't take any credit for any of this. I had a very strong team, and we were very fortunate to work with the Alletec team, which was also very strong, and they understood what we needed to do. They took some time to understand the integrations we had. We had a considerable amount of integrations and customizations. And so the key was for both teams to work closely together to define what those customizations, integrations were, because we could not lose any functionality. So that was super important for us. And the interesting thing about our particular engagement was that most of the special features we're using were not out of the box with Dynamics, and most of them were customizations. And so when we decided to move to Business Central, we said, hey, some of these items are now available in Business Central, and the others we just have to build. And so because we documented all these integrations and requirements up front, we were able to meet the aggressive timelines.
So any thought on, I know it was a complex thing, but any thought of ease of integrations, any challenges you faced during the integration phase? Because as you shared, that was a critical component.
Yeah, I think we used Power Automate to move data back and forth. So there were some initial concerns on performance because most of our applications are on premise, and then obviously Business Central is in the cloud. So data has to move from premise to the cloud, and so that was something we initially, people were not used to it because they were used to seeing things instantly. So we went to a different model, different cutoff time. So we had to adjust a little bit of our process. But nonetheless, I think we were successful. Our next generation of our practice management systems will also be in the cloud, and that should ease things up a little bit. But definitely integrations was a key component for us because we had multiple integrations from different systems, and all of these feeds, because we do all our billing out of Business Central. And so data has to come in, pretty real time. We are a very cash intensive business. So timeliness of billing is critical. If something is billed by 10 p.m., we want it out in the customer site by 4 p.m. the same day. And going traditional batches and overnight batches or waiting a week to batch was just not an option for us.
We're already using another Dynamics application for a long time. Now this new Business Central was on cloud, it's a new product. So how did you ensure that the whole adoption was proper? And on the question of change management, how did you manage the whole cultural change that was required?
So once again, I think Alletec helped us out here by providing the right training. We piloted, we did parallel processing for a month, and we just got our users used to it. Now, obviously, the main constituents of users are from the accounting department. That's a lot easier to manage and control. Our executives never really went into it, although we did provision licenses for all of them, even in Business Central. The adoption within the executive community is low. And again, that's not not in any way a issue with the application or the work that was done. It's just some people just prefer to have something spoon-fed to them instead of going in and looking at stuff themselves. However, out of our exec team, we do have two or three of them who actually do go in now and look at their own P&Ls and they
Okay.
do drill downs, which was just not possible before.
Oh, excellent, excellent. You've been using the system for 1 year now. So what are the primary business benefits that you see at McCalla?
So a big thing for us is our monthly close goes a lot faster.
Hmm.
Our annual close goes a lot faster. Before we had a lot of system processing issues. We had outages, we had downtime because every time we needed to patch something, we had to take the system down. I'm pleased to say that in over a year we've had no outages, no downtime, and nothing. And even if you have to patch something, you do it in a parallel system, and it's all seamless. So that's a big huge win for us. Obviously with any new system there were some teething issues in terms of
Hmm.
getting our check formats right and stuff like that because we have a lot of bank accounts. And
Right.
so those are a couple of things that we had. But other than that, it's been good. For me, the biggest benefit is getting our close done faster and
Hmm.
better reporting. Another thing that we did was we also completely revamped our chart of accounts, and we have a lot of granularity which we did not have in the previous system, just because it was less flexible than Business
Now, what were
Central.
the couple of key recommendations for any organization who wants to undertake a similar digital transformation initiative? Learnings from your experience, etc.
All I can say is just do it. You gotta go all in. You gotta go all
Right.
in. You gotta make decisions and don't be afraid. You have a good team in Alltech to support you. Microsoft's product is fairly mature. In its previous, it's this is not a new product for Microsoft. It was used to be Microsoft Navision back in the day, and so they've got a lot of the bugs worked out early on. And so I think the only way to do it is just to go all in and don't overanalyze it. Just do it. Things will work out.
Well, from your personal perspective, what would you say would be the one most impactful thing you would say you learned or discovered in the process that can have impactful benefits to the other organizations or even professionals?
As a CFO, I shouldn't say
Uh-huh.
this, but I put my CIO hat on and I'll say this. Um, you know, Accounting systems should be benign.
Hmm.
They should just work. They shouldn't be dominating your time or dominating any of your IT resources. And I think before we moved to Business Central, we were constantly updating servers, making sure that our version of Dynamics was from 2009, was the last version we upgraded. So our underlying servers, we were out of support. We were running Windows 2012. Actually, it was 2000. I think Windows 2009. So it was just taking up too many cycles, and moving to the cloud in this case, all those problems go away. So I do think that there's for those people still holding out from moving to the cloud, this is something that you should certainly, especially benign systems like accounting, which should just work like a
So what are the
utility.
other next steps for your digital transformation initiatives that you have in mind?
So yeah, we're completely revamping everything we have. Everything we have, we don't have very many vendor systems. Most of our applications
Hmm.
are written in-house. We are not a traditional law firm per se, although we are a law firm, but we really operate in a very different type of environment. Our clients are different. Our work is different. We are definitely a niche player, and in our niche, we are probably one of the largest. And the reason we are successful and continue to grow and continue to be, the largest player in the United States is because of our technology. So right now, our main focus is to transform our entire application stack, and we've already got our first alpha version running in development. Really, not really running yet, but development.
Okay.
Uh, we've- and so we are completely gutting everything and rewriting everything, and we believe that the bits and pieces that connect to Business Central will should work just fine on the new
Any
platform.
final thoughts for the CFO and the CIO community? You already mentioned a lot, gave a lot of valuable inputs. Any final thoughts?
Um, I don't think there's anything else I can add. I think it's very important that when you do projects like this, you pick the right partner and make sure it's a partnership and not a vendorship, because there is a difference.
Yeah, we are so appreciative of the partnership that we had. Um, and I said last question, but again, a last question to sum it up. So, very curious. You had a very unique vantage point of looking from the both business and the technology side, being the CFO and the CIO. Did this dual role help you in all these initiatives on a daily basis? Or would have been more of a challenge if somebody else was a CIO or a CFO?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely did, because I understood the financial impacts of any
Mm,
decisions we made. I also understood the technical impacts of any decisions we made. And when we had a traditional CFO and CIO roles were separate, that's why we stayed on Dynamics AX for so many years, because
mm,
the both parties were very afraid. Technically, they were afraid. On the technical side, they were afraid to upgrade because there was too many customizations they did not understand. On the finance side, the guy said, "Well, I I'm too afraid to even touch the system." So between the CFO and the CIO, they sat on it for many years.
excellent. Yeah. Again, it's such a pleasure working so closely with you and the team. So once again, best wishes on all the initiatives, and look forward to continuing being in close partnership.
Thank you very much, Globy. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss our project.
Thanks, Anil.